The report that we're releasing today about justice and community safety in Western Australia has got recommendations focused in 5 particular areas that together we are calling for greater focus on in Western Australia.
Alcohol and other drug use contributes to crime and antisocial behaviour, to domestic and family violence, and adds pressure to our hospitals, police service, child protection services, the courts and prisons.
There is a significant proportion of people in our prison system who have very serious and significant mental health issues. And the problems and the difficulty in dealing with those health issues in a prison environment.
We're calling for a new approach and a new thinking about how we invest funding in supporting some of these most vulnerable groups, because we know that there's an overrepresentation of Indigenous people in our prisons and in our juvenile detention centres, and there's also an overrepresentation of people with mental illness and drug and alcohol issues in the prisons.
It's an ongoing concern that for so many years the one-stop shop is, as far as getting our community stronger, is going to prison. We don't want to see that going forward.
So what we need to see is a comprehensive approach to tackling the issues and the complexity that individuals and their families are experiencing, to make sure that we can actually provide a response that helps to turn lives around, rather than simply locking people up in an ever-expanding and increasingly expensive detention and prison system in WA that's not leading to reduced rates of reoffending.
We in particular want to see a move away from mandatory sentencing of people for offences when there may be significant mental health issues that are contributing to their offending behaviour.
We need to be looking at prevention, we need to be looking at making sure that there's early intervention, making sure that there's services for voluntary people before they're even engaged in that system. Then we need to make sure that there's treatment in prison, and we need to make sure that there's followed through so that people exiting prison have that support so that they don't reoffend.
We need more resources in the community where the community can come to community service providers to get similar services, rather than going to prisons and getting the one-stop shop and whole streamlined seamless services which should be offered out on the outside rather than being incarcerated first.
We know that alcohol and other drug programs for prisoners have strong community support, and recent public opinion poll shows that 90% of Western Australians surveyed support prison treatment and support.
We're very encouraged by the fact that there's been a decision made to open a mental health diversionary court in this state. What we want to see is an ongoing and systematic approach to addressing mental health issues before they result in people going to prison.
The role of government here is critical as well. There needs to be improved collaboration and coordination between government agencies and community service providers so that we can work together effectively and in partnership to deliver the improved outcomes that the West Australian community so desperately needs.